Hi my loves, welcome back or welcome to my channel. Welcome if you guys are new, and welcome to our favorite video of the month, picking our TBR for the next month. So we are going into April. That is absolutely crazy, but yeah, we're gonna be picking our TBR for April. As I've been doing recently, we're gonna be letting a TBR jar pick my reads. So we're gonna be picking, I think, 5 prompts from this TBR jar, and they're gonna help pick my reads. I think I am definitely gonna be needing this right now because there is no way with some of the incredible books on my TBR that I could go through them and like handpick which ones I wanna read right now. So this is definitely gonna be helpful. I think from now on, we're gonna stick to doing 5 prompts because I also have another book club now over on Patreon with the podcast. So obviously that's kind of another added book to my TBR each month. Like every book club pick, I'm gonna read every month, obviously. So we've already got a few commitments before even picking the TBR jar. I also have my Fable book club. So I feel like 5 is a good number. You know, if you're a mood reader, you can relate to me in the sense that it is really hard to stick to a TBR every single month, especially when there's new releases that you want to be reading. Maybe you start a series and just want to continue that series. So it is quite hard as a mood reader. We're going to do our best as we always do, and we're going to be picking 5 prompts today. So without me rambling anymore, let's get started. Open the very satisfying jar. All right, the first prompt is, I'm gonna get one like from the bottom. Which one do I go for? Let's go for this one. A book set in a different time period. So this can be historical fiction. This can be, I don't know, maybe like a futuristic book, like, I don't know, set like 20 years in the future. I'm not sure. This gives us a lot of scope, but also it's pretty selective. I don't know what books are gonna go for this on my TBR. Maybe like some sci-fi? Hang on, let me have a look. Okay, actually have some options, I think. I'm just guessing from going off the vibes. Anyway, Cleopatra by Sarah L. Afari. Obviously, this is set in a different time period. We are following our protagonist, Cleopatra. I talked about this one in my last TBR video, I remember. And yeah, we are literally learning about the true story of Cleopatra. So I think creative freedom, a little bit of history has been put together to talk about the life and the legacy that is Cleopatra. So obviously ancient Greek inspired. I think this could be really cool. I also really want to start branching out and trying new authors, and I have never read anything by this author before. This is an ARC. I ended up getting it a little bit later than usual. I got it at the very end of February and it came out in February. So you can get this now as well. I feel like this pretty easily fits the prompts, like, you know, set in a different time period. So that's definitely an option. Apparently I've been in my sci-fi era. Another one is Artemis. I'm not entirely sure when this is set though. So if it doesn't say, then I guess I won't pick it, because it says, welcome to Artemis, the first city on the moon. Like, so I'm guessing it's futuristic, but I don't think it actually says like when it's set. I'm reading the first page to see if it says anything. I feel like this is a bit of a guess. I don't know. I just don't know if it's set in like this future, like, cause it was written quite a few years ago. I'm like, is it set now? Or I don't know, is it like actually in a different time period? This is a sci-fi by Andy Weir, by the way. I recently got sent some of his backlog works, and after reading and then watching Project Hail Mary, I really want to read some more of his books. I have watched The Martian, but I've never read The Martian. So if you think it's worth reading, even though I know what happens, I'd be more than happy to. Like, I feel like I probably will anyway. But this one's following Jazz, and she is a criminal, and she's offered the chance to make a lot of money, but it means she has to plan the perfect crime in one of the most dangerous places in the universe. The only other one I thought that might, I'm not entirely sure, is Day of Now. This one very much gives me The Last of Us vibes. I think we're following, yeah, a fungal pandemic has wiped out society. Don't think this is set in a different time period. I think it's just like a post-apocalyptic vibe. So that could be set in modern period right now. So I think the best bet for this one will be Cleopatra by Sarah L. Afari. I think this is gonna be a really good one. Clearly it fits the prompt. See what I mean with like prompt jars? I feel like I would not have been able to make that decision without it. Okay, let's do our second prompt. Maybe let's do one of these ones. A second prompt is, oh, this is so little. What does it say? A 2-word title. This definitely has more freedom. Let me have a look. So we did not have a lot of options for this one, and these are both pretty intimidating reads for me. First of all, because we just talked about it, let me just say The Martian is definitely an option for this one, which would be fun to read, to be honest. I really liked the writing in Project Hail Mary, so I wouldn't mind delving into this one. If for some reason you don't know what this one is about, there is also a movie on it, obviously, and we are following an astronaut who has been stranded on Mars. I'm stranded on Mars. I have no way to communicate with Earth. If the oxygenator breaks down, I'll suffocate. If the water reclaimer breaks down, I'll die of thirst. If the habitat breaches, I'll kind of just explode. If none of those things happen, I'll eventually run out of food and starve to death. I'm scared. Obviously, I did watch the movie, but I would be really, really interested to read this one. The other option is very, very intimidating, and that is The Winners by Fredrik Backman. Look, I am kind of drawn to this one, but it is a lengthy book. It is 600 pages of Fredrik Backman. Like, will I survive that? I will say this is one that I've kind of like in my mind wanted to just mood read. Like, I want to pick it up when I'm feeling brave enough, because one thing I've learned about Fredrik Backman is you cannot go in ill prepared. You're going to be exploring some pretty intense issues. You're going to be exploring some really hard things that characters go through. And this is the third book, by the way, in the Beartown series. I don't think I've mentioned that, but yeah, the Beartown series is set in a small town in Sweden that basically revolves around its hockey team. It's kind of all it's got going for it. So they put a lot of love and time and effort and competitiveness into this hockey team, and then one thing happens that kind of pulls the town apart. People are on different sides, makes you kind of question characters. Everyone also just goes through their own things. Oh my god, the font's quite small as well. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to just pick up this one when I'm in the mood for it, because like with the last book, Us Against You, I loved that book. It was a 5-star read. Crazy, crazy traumatic, but I loved it. But I actually started it like back in November or something last year, and I read like the first, I think 50 pages, and I was like, I actually can't deal with this right now. So I put it down, then I came back to it. So I feel like, yeah, I've learnt my lesson. I'm never going to force myself to read a Fredrik Backman. So for that reason, I think we're going to go with The Martian, 2-word title. I actually don't have very many 2-word titles. I was very surprised. A lot of 3-word. Okay, our third prompt is, they're all getting tangled with each other, guys. Okay, this one is continuing a series I am in the middle of. This is my favorite prompt to get. I've been waiting to get that prompt for a long time. Just you wait, I've got some options. Okay, look, there is one that I'm drawn to more than the others, but we'll leave that for last, shall we? The first one that I've kind of been slightly intrigued with recently, and I wasn't sure if I wanted to continue this series, and I feel like this book will be like that deciding factor, is Brimstone, which is the second book to Quicksilver. I don't have it physically, but I have the first one, so that's why I'm holding it up. Quicksilver is a fun romancy book. I don't think it's anything crazy, but I have been really, really drawn to romancies at the moment, which hasn't happened in a long time. I feel like all throughout the summer months, I was just reading high fantasies, but recently I've been kind of drawn towards romancies that little bit more. I read one last month, and I was like, wow, I forgot how fun it is to just be immersed in this world with these characters and have so many magical things going on. And so obviously that is very much like this kind of world. Quicksilver is an enemies to lovers, where our main protagonist stumbles across this magical world. And I have heard good things about Brimstone, so that is an option. The other option is, again, I don't have the second book physically. I know how bad of me. The Diviners, the second book to the Diviners. What is the second book called? Lair of Dreams. I read this one a few months ago. Absolutely loved it. Like, where is the hype for this series? Honestly, I was obsessed with it. We set in the 1920s following Evie, and this book kind of really embodies the idea of like folklore and spiritualism, which was a quite big movement in the 20s anyway. People were really like exploring that kind of stuff, and Evie is trying to piece together these killings that have basically been happening throughout New York and trying to put together these mysteries. It is a very spooky read. Like, it is a super spooky read, but I loved it for that reason. And then the last book that I feel like I can't go past is The Beauty of Darkness by Mary E. Pearson. First of all, this is the third book in the series, the last book in the series. So once I finish this, it means I've ticked off another series. After finishing the second book in this series last month, or well, this month technically, have not been able to stop thinking about it. That was probably one of the biggest cliffhangers to end on. And I have just been itching to pick this book up. And it's so big, like I really don't know what's gonna happen. This is the third book in the Remnant Chronicles, by the way. I've been really, really enjoying this series. It's a very like classic feeling fantasy, like, you know, medieval, going on adventures. There is magic, but it's like kind of, I don't know, this elusive like background thing. It's not really the forefront of our plot or of our characters. It's very much like a plot and politically driven world. And then we also have a love triangle, which Freya reading a love triangle, I know, unheard of, but I'm not minding it because it makes sense. This love triangle makes sense. It's not one of the annoying ones where like she's back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Like, context, people, context. So I think I'm gonna have to go with The Beauty of Darkness by Mary E. Pearson. I'm too intrigued with this one. Okie dokie, my fourth prompt. Oh my God, we're already at number 4. Oh, okay, I guess we're going, oh, that's 2. We'll go with this one, the top one. This one says under 400 pages. That is a beautiful beautiful prompt. That is exactly what we have been looking for. I love a book under 400 pages. I may have a lot of options for this one. I picked out 4 options. I think these are all under 400 pages, but I just went off vibes. I just went off the look of the length. This one is, I actually had it on my TBR in January and I didn't get to it. And I was a little bit sad because it looks really, really interesting. This is We Who Have No God by Liza Anderson. Let's see how long this one is. 366. Definitely under. Again, I said I was in a romantasy mood. This is a romantasy. It says, in a world of witches, she has 2 choices, hunt or be hunted. Obviously, we're talking about witchcraft. Vic Wood's ordinary life crumbles when her younger brother is accepted into the Archeron Order, a secret society of witches tasked with keeping the world of the dead at bay. That sounds so cool. While Henry inherited their absent mother's magical abilities, Vic did not, so she is stunned when the Order's mysterious leader invites her to join the other initiates at the Avalon Castle to prove his controversial hypothesis that magic can be taught. So we've got like an academy setting almost? Something like that. This sounds really fun. I love witchcraft, to be honest. I have had this book on my TBR for the longest time and it's not okay. Oh, 329. This is under it as well. This is Whisper by Lynette Noni. This is like a dystopian book, which is really interesting for Lynette Noni, and I feel like it's her lesser known series. It's just a duology, but this one sounds interesting, but it also sounds really like Shatter Me, and I didn't love Shatter Me, so that's kind of what's been putting me off. I've just had it because I love Lynette Noni. The cover also creeps me out, but anyway, this says, Lengard is a secret government facility for extraordinary people, they told me. I believed them. That was my mistake. There isn't anyone in the world like me. I'm different. I'm a monster. For 2 years, 6 months, 14 days, 11 hours, and 16 minutes, Subject 684, Jane Doe, has been locked away and experimented on without uttering a single word. As Jane's resolve begins to crack under the influence of her new and unexpectedly kind evaluator, she uncovers the truth about Lengard's mysterious program, discovering that her own secret is at the heart of a sinister plot, and one wrong move, one wrong word could change the world. So it's like if she speaks, something happens. I don't know. We also, I think, as I talked about this one before, this is just. Day of Now is 398, only just. We've already talked about that one though. The other one that I'm like crossing my fingers is under 400 pages, but I'm not sure. 386 pages. The Poet Empress. Do I have a choice? Not really. I recently finally got my hands on The Poet Empress by Shen Tao. It sounds so much fun. It says, to kill a monster, she must become one. As the Emperor lays dying, the once great Azalea dynasty plunges towards civil war, while its princes plot for power. A more hidden war to become the next empress occupies the imperial court. Wei Yin has already endured unimaginable suffering. Ripped from her family, she has no title, no allies, and no escape, but she does have a secret. In the shadows of the palace, surrounded by enemies, she is learning a skill forbidden to women. Because when words are weapons and poetry holds ancient magic, the fate of a girl and a nation can both be rewritten. So basically, this is like a fantasy standalone, I think. The magic system is based around poetry and words, which I find fascinating. The cover is really incredible, like the artwork. Obviously, every single person, very much Jamie, and very much my like Patreon book club, and like anyone on the podcast, to be honest, has been begging me to read this for a long time. So I feel like I would be doing a disservice to everyone there to not read this. So I think we're gonna be putting The Poet Empress on the TBR for the month. Yay, finally. Even though these were all incredibly good options, that means we only have one more prompt to pick. Let's get one down here. We've been getting a lot of like little short ones today. Hey, oh, this isn't too short. It has pirates, mermaids, or fae. Wow. The prompts are coming through today, very much in my fantasy era, aren't I? Okay. Well, none of the books I just talked about have that. There's witches, but not pirates, mermaids, or fae. I don't know why I just like selected those few magical creatures. Guys, I might have to do a Kindle Unlimited for this one. Let me have a look though. Okay, I'm looking on Kindle Unlimited or just like ebooks and like people who have recommended books, because honestly, I realize that I'm reading too much at the moment. I actually don't have a lot of books on my physical TBR at the moment, which is kind of crazy. I probably should have gone to like the library or something before this. But anyway, I do have one that I've been really, really wanting to read, and that is Fable by Adrienne Young. This was a Reese book club pick ages ago. It is a YA fantasy, and I think it has like pirates or something like that. Welcome to a world made dangerous by the sea and by those who wish to profit from it, where a young girl must find her place and her family whilst trying to survive the world built for men. Ooh, as the daughter of the most powerful trader in the Narrows, the sea is the only home the seven 17-year-old Fable has ever known. It has been 4 years since the night she watched her mother drown during an unforgiving storm. The next day, her father abandoned her on a legendary island filled with thieves and little food. To survive, she must keep herself, learn to trust no one, and rely on the unique skills her mother taught her. The only thing that keeps her going is the goal of getting off the island, finding her father, and demanding her rightful place beside him and his crew. So it doesn't say like specifically pirates, but I'm getting pirates, and it was also on like a list of the Goodreads thing that was like books that have pirates. So I think that could be an option. Obviously, I think Brimstone that we talked about earlier, I imagine has Frey. So I guess that's an option as well. I'm really intrigued by Fable though. I really don't have any books on my physical TBR that just are about Fae, pirates, or mermaids. Let's look up mermaid fantasies, shall we? Because like that is something I don't hear a lot of. I haven't really read many at all, but I feel like it's a really hard thing to do as well. So mermaid fantasies are really, really hard to do, right? I don't think I've ever read a good one, and I read like pretty weird ones when I was younger, like not really great ones. That's a bit of a hard one. Heavenly Bodies, I'm not sure if that has Fae in it or not. That is another one I have been interested in. I don't think it's on Kindle Unlimited or anything, but you know, we can get it at the library. This one is basically talking about a world ruled by stars and cruel, merciless gods. I don't think it's specifically Fae. I think it's just like magical worlds. Maybe like their own version of magical creatures. I'm not really sure. And like just magic involves it. So I don't know if that one's gonna count. Other one I've heard really good things about recently is The Wolf King. I don't know that this has anything magical in it, but this is werewolves. So not Fae, but that does sound good. So, you know, just a little put it out there. Okay, I think we're gonna go with Fabled. I think that's our best bet. I honestly just don't have that many on my TBR at the moment. I think that's gonna be really good. I remember wanting to read this a really long time ago, never getting to it for some reason. I think it was only in hardback and I was like, I'll buy it when it has paperback. Never bought it. It is on Kindle Unlimited, so I'll probably read it and then I can go out and buy it if I really enjoy it. But I'm excited to read that one. I haven't read a pirate fantasy in a hot minute. And please, if you have read a good mermaid fantasy, please leave it below because I love mermaids so, so much. But yeah, I think that brings us to the end of our TBR. That means we have our full TBR. So let's do a run through. So our first sci-fi and only sci-fi is The Martian. I'm really excited to read this one. I think I'll speed through it. Like, I think I'm gonna have a good time. Andy's writing is so easy and immersive to read. Like, it's not even funny. I'll be interested to see if this is like as comedic as Project Hail Mary as well. Different protagonists, so maybe not. Cleopatra, super intrigued about this one. These are also all, apart from one, I'd say they're all pretty short books, so I think we might like have a good chance of getting through our TBR this month. The Poet Empress by Chantal, so excited to finally be diving into this one. Obviously, The Beauty of Darkness, this is our only kind of thicker book, but I think it's only 600 pages? Oh, closer to 700, but you know, that's okay. One thick book for the TBR is not bad. It gives me a lot of range actually from what I can read for this month. The Beauty of Darkness, so excited, really scared to finally be finishing that trilogy. And then of course, Fable by Adrienne Young. So that is our TBR for the month of April. Very different kind of TBR for me. Very fantasy heavy, but that's what I'm in the mood for. So I think that is absolutely perfect timing. But yeah, if you've watched till the end, thank you so much for watching. Let me know what books you're excited to read this month. I feel like we had a lot of books releasing at the very end of March as well that we'll probably all be reading in April. So that's really exciting. A few that I definitely want to get to, like Abby Jimenez's new book. Let me know some books you're excited to get to this month. If you've watched till the end, thank you so much for watching. It truly means the absolute world to me. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in my next video.